welcome you into a rowdy Pete Mathews Coliseum here in beautiful Jacksonville, Alabama, on the campus of Jacksonville State University for today's Pink Game, the annual Pink Game in this ASUN Conference matchup between Jack State's women's basketball team and the visiting Colonels from Eastern Kentucky. A big game for seeding purposes ahead of the ASUN tournament, which will come up early in March. JSU currently tied in the standings with Eastern Kentucky in 5th place. A win in this one would go a huge way for the Gamecocks securing that 5 seed if they're able to do so later on here in the regular season. Talked with Coach Petrie after the win on Thursday. The difference between 5 and 6 are so huge between traveling to a 4 seed and traveling to a 3 seed. It's even bigger between 6 and 7. You need to win all the games you can. And the starters being announced for either side. The first one out for Eastern Kentucky is number 4, Marissa Mackins. She's followed by Danielle Rainey. Mackins, a redshirt junior guard from Durham, North Carolina. Rainey, a graduate guard, transferred in from Eastern Michigan. She's followed by Ariel Kirkwood, the redshirt junior, another transfer from Morehead State. Antoinette Walker, the redshirt senior, averaging north of 20 points per game for the Colonels. She's the 4th starter for EKU. Walker, a native of Lisle, Illinois, and a transfer from Marquette. Did not see who the final starter was. Going to pull up live stats. Apologize for how hectic this day has been, but a lot of festivities going on here with the Pink Game. Had softball earlier today at Jack State over at University Field. Great to see them get a big 11-3 win. They've had a strong start to their season with a successful 3-0 weekend to start the year. Now let's see what women's basketball can do, looking for a perfect weekend as well. And as we pull up the live stats, we have to check out who that final starter is for the Colonels. Their coach is Greg Todd. He's in his 2nd season. 28 wins, 28 losses in Richmond, helped out by assistant coaches Abby Owings, Coretta Brown, and Veronica Ryan. That final starter for Eastern Kentucky is Alekin Recanati. Alice Recanati, the redshirt sophomore from Italy. 5th one out there for EKU, 9 points per game average. The band will do just that. They get loud for the Gamecocks as the starters are just about to be announced as the Pink lights go on here at Pete Mathews Coliseum, First starter out, Mango Mutanda, the redshirt junior guard from Minneapolis. She's had a solid season. The numbers aren't the best, just 4.5 points per game, but she's been as productive as anybody on this team down the stretch of the season. She's followed by Kyra Williams, the 5th-year guard from Jacksonville, Alabama. Kiera Griffin follows her, the junior from Birmingham. Shantae Shaw next out, wearing that number 30 jersey today for the Pink Game. They didn't have 13 in pink, but they did have 30, and that's what the Nashville native will wear. She's 2nd on the team, 11.2 points per game. Then the team's leading scorer and rebounder, Kennedy Gavin, 12.7 points, 7.7 rebounds per game. Gamecocks coached by 10th-year head coach Rick Petrie just got his 375th win as a head coach in the college ranks last Saturday. Coach Petrie helped out by 10th-year assistants Eric Wise and Altheria Swarmley, also 2nd-year assistant Raven Wright. The Gamecocks, as you would expect for the Pink Game, wearing their pink uniforms. It's got Jacksonville State in white letters on the front with, I believe, either dark pink or maybe red trim around those letters. As for Eastern Kentucky, wearing their road maroon uniforms, Eastern Kentucky, and the numbers in white on the front. I want to thank everybody for joining us on this great Saturday. It's a great Saturday to be inside, a great Saturday for basketball. Rainy afternoon and morning before that over at University Field, but hey, we're in the stadium today. We're good to go. Let's get it going. Kennedy Gavin jumping at the line for the Gamecocks. She'll go up against number 10, and Danielle Rainey, the Washington, D.C. native. Opening tip, not contested by Gavin, and the Colonels will have it to start this one. Recanati The Italian stands at the M of that Gamecock logo, lobs one to the right side. She finds Kirkwood. Kirkwood back to Recanati on the right side. Top of the key, here's Walker, jumper, and that's off the front of the rim. Rebounded, though, by Eastern Kentucky. That's Recanati with it. She's trapped, passes outside. Antoinette Walker, the Marquette transfer, was a starter there. Spin around, floater, and that's off the iron. Rebounded by Jack State number 0, Mango Mutanda. Mutanda over to Shaw, back to Mango on the wing, a three-pointer, and that one's short. Nothing but net, but it didn't go in the rim. That's what you needed. Rebounded by EKU. They take it on the other end, and a hard shot goes in through contact by Danielle Rainey. Not sure how she got that one to go, but she did. It's 2-0 Eastern Kentucky. Shaw's got it. Shante swings one to the left to Kiera Griffin, now to the wing. This is Kyra Williams. Jack State with a huge win on Thursday. Big victory over Bellarmine, 59-54. Looking to move it to a 2-game winning streak. Check that 3-game winning streak after winning last Saturday in Charlotte. There's Shante Shaw, her three-pointer off the mark. Goes to Kiera Griffin, passes to Mango. Now top of the key back to Shante. In the corner, Kyra's left wide open. Long ball, and that's off the rim. Thought for sure that one would go, but it did not. Rebounded by Walker, and it's back to the Colonels. Dribbling it back is Recanati. Recanati goes to the right side. In her face is Shante Shaw. Gamecock defense did great things against Bellarmine's 6'6" freshman Gracie Merkel. Let's see what they can do against a tall threat in Antoinette Walker. This jumper off the rim. Another defensive board for the Gamecocks. Shante Shaw dribbles to the left, tries to get around Recanati, passes outside to Griffin. Now to the right corner, this is Mutanda. Screen is set, she'll drive inside in the paint, kick it back outside to Shaw on the left wing. Shaw spins at the elbow, outside, three-pointer for Kyra, and too much on this one. Not shooting the ball well in the first 2 minutes. JSU goes 0 for 4 on their first 4 opportunities, and it's a 2-0 lead for Eastern Kentucky. Kiera Griffin pokes it out of bounds as Ariel Kirkwood tried to drive the baseline. Eastern Kentucky 13-12 on the season. They have an identical record in ASUN play to Jack State, 6-6. As Antoinette Walker grabs one on the wing. Walker in the paint, she'll spin, tries to drive in, layup, too much on it. Rebound goes to Kiera Griffin, and here come the Gamecocks down the left side. Over to Shaw, now to the right. Here's Mango, had just enough room to put up a three, in and out. Oh, that one hurts. Rebounded down low by Gavin, and she's there for the putback. At least you get something there. Kennedy Gavin has Jack State on the board with 7:20 to go. And we're tied up at 2. Recanati, the sophomore, has it. Shaw in front of her. Gives to Walker, as expected, the offense running through her. A poor pass, and it's intercepted. Shante Shaw has it, and she's off to the races. Gamecocks with numbers. In the corner, 3 from Mango, and that's off the back of the rim. Rebounded by Gavin, put back again, and this one will fall too. Kennedy Gavin walks down the floor and says, count it. 4-2, Jack State. Back-to-back shots for the graduate forward out of Petal, Mississippi. Coming up on 6.5 to go in the opening period. JSU with their first lead. Recanati comes left side, a three-pointer, and that one's off the rim. Missed by Marissa Mackins, and a foul going for the rebound on Eastern Kentucky. And that will go against the star player, Walker. Amari Martin will check in. Masingo Mutanda will take a seat for the Gamecocks. Looking for some quality minutes for Amari. Kennedy Gavin left side. She'll hand it off to Kyra Williams, coming back to the right. Kyra flares one over to Shante Shaw. Looking for somebody to hit a shot here, increase the lead. Outside, Amari, 3-ball. Too much on it, just barely missing some of these long balls. They go down the floor to Walker. She had Amari Martin beat, but the layup is missed. Rebounded by Kiera Griffin. Takes it all the way down the left side. She'll pass to Martin. Now on the right wing, here's Shaw. Jack State up 4-2, and it's ripped away from Shaw by Antoinette Walker. Walker will rip it away from Kennedy Gavin, who was trying to steal it. She'll throw it across the floor where it's caught by Mackins. Mackins will try a prayer, and that one off the iron. Caught in the corner by Griffin. A little bit of contact, but nothing called. Over to Amari Martin. Amari in the paint. Mack outside on the wing to Shante Shaw. She spins, has it stripped, and Shante can't hang on to it. Eastern Kentucky will keep it. 5.5 to go on the wing. Open 3 for Eastern Kentucky. Airballed, and caught by Kiera Griffin. That one would not go for Rainey. Griffin trying to go coast to coast, count the basket. No, they wipe it off. It's a charge. Was hoping for a blocking foul. If so, the shot was good, but instead it's going to be a loss of possession for the Gamecocks. A decent crowd on hand for the Pink game here on this Saturday in Calhoun County, Alabama. Student section not massive, not quite as big as the doubleheader on Thursday. But for what they lack in quantity, they make up for in quality. Making noise over there. At the elbow, Walker passes to a cutting Danielle Rainey. She ties it with a layup. Kyra Williams called for a foul. And Rainey will have a chance to give her team the lead at the line. Brooklyn McDaniel, the freshman, will come in to give Kyra Williams a seat. Also a sub coming in for Eastern Kentucky. That's Kyra Freeman, the 5'6" sophomore out of Elizabethtown, Kentucky. Hardcore, the pep band making noise as Danielle Rainey hits the free throw to put Eastern Kentucky back on top, 5-4. Inbound pass goes to Nakia Thompson. Looking for a response here. Jack State's turned the ball over 3 times in the last couple minutes. Looking to hold on to it here and get a quality shot. Thompson straight away, the senior from Atlanta, goes to the right side of Griffin. Bounces one in the paint to Gavin, now in the corner to Martin. Top of the key to the left side. This is Nakia Thompson in the corner to McDaniel. 1 on the clock, and we didn't even try a shot. McDaniel was not paying attention to the shot clock. She wasn't the only one, I don't think. Nevertheless, a poor time to have a turnover like that. And we head to the media timeout, trailing 5-4, 4:35 to go in the first period here on the Gamecock Sports Network. We are back here on the Gamecock Sports Network. Jack State and Eastern Kentucky in women's basketball action here at Pete Mathews Coliseum in Calhoun County. JSU trailing 5-4. 4 minutes and 35 seconds to go here in the first period. It's been a day of upsets in the ASUN Conference. Big one was Jacksonville knocking off Austin Peay 55-52. In Clarksville, a huge, massive upset. That's a team JSU will be seeing next week. Gamecocks taking on Jacksonville a week from today. They'll play North Florida next Thursday. A near upset in Kennesaw. Bellarmine was leading after 3, but fell just short, falling 77-73 at Kennesaw State. FGCU only won by 10 against Stetson. That was a 3-point game going into the 4th period. Could have been a crazy day in this conference as Danielle Rainey tries a mid-range jumper and she buries it just in front of Brooklyn McDaniel at 7-4. 4 1/4 to go here in the 1st period, and a 3-point lead now for the Colonels. Also up in Nashville, Lipscomb was trailing late, came back to beat North Florida as Amari Martin hits a 3 from the right wing and ties it up at 7-all. EKU driving underneath, reverse layup for Marissa Mackins. That one's good. And Eastern Kentucky back on top just like that. Nakia Thompson, point guard, guiding the Gamecocks down the floor to the elbow. Jumper for Gavin, and that one hits off the rim, misses. Rebounded by Kiara Griffin, her 7th already. Gives to Amari Martin, whose shot is blocked and recovered by EKU. Coming to the left side. It's Emma Hacker with it. She'll drive through contact, and she'll draw a foul. Hacker, the 6'3" redshirt junior, will head to the charity stripe for a couple of free throws, trying to add to this lead. Sub about to check in for the Colonels. That's Bridget Fox. Transfer from Detroit Mercy coming in. Another 6-footer on this Eastern Kentucky team. Between Bellarmine and EKU, there are a lot of tall Division I women's basketball players in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. That free throw is up and in from Hacker. Product of Menifee County High School up in Kentucky. Unlike the rest of the team, wearing her blue shoes today. And maybe that's the trick. She hits both of the free throws to make it a 2-possession game at 11-7. Biggest lead of the game now for Eastern Kentucky. And Gamecocks will look to respond with 3.5 to go. Thompson goes to the left side of McDaniel. Back to Nakia on the wing. Now over to Brooklyn, who transferred over to the wing. In the corner to Griffin. That 3-pointer off the backboard, recovered by McDaniel. She's trapped, gives over to Amari Martin. Her jumper no good, tipped by McDaniel, and Brooklyn will get the board. They'll call a jump ball. Possession will stay with Jack State. It's either going to be a jump ball or a turnover against JSU, as it's kind of close to a travel that time, but thankfully not called. Amari Martin, the 5th-year guard, preseason All-ASUN selection. Tosses it in to Thompson. To the right side, here's Amari Martin, long 2. That one off to the right. Pulled down by Rainey. Rainey coming down the near sideline, kicks it in the corner. Gives it off to Freeman. Kara Freeman, left-handed finish, won't go. Caught by Amari Martin, and here comes Jack State. Down by 4, 2:40 to play in the first. Amari will drive, gets around her defender, but the second one's there. She'll spin around, pass it over to Gavin, guarded by Fox. Gavin in the paint, she'll pass to the left side. This is Thompson, got a screen. She's open, layup, won't go, didn't get enough on it. Rebounded by Eastern Kentucky, Emma Hacker. Over to Recanati. Now a pass to Freeman, who has it straight away. Cutting to the right, a lot of movement here by the Colonels. Jumper for Rainey, and that's off the rim. Rebound goes to Amari Martin. Ahead to Nakia Thompson, and stolen by Rainey on a poor pass, rather. Back to Rainey, and she threw it right to Thompson. Nakia gets it. Nakia has the defenders beat, draws a foul, puts up a shot. She'll head to the line. That's a tough foul against Nakia Thompson. Hit the ground hard that time. The foul against Hacker. They're going to take another look at that. Petrie was screaming across the floor, but to be honest with you, I'm not sure exactly what his beef is with that call. Maybe if they're seeing whether or not it should be a tech. Not entirely sure. They'll take a look at it over on the replay system at the scorer's table. Minute 58 to go here in the first period. JSU trails 11-7 against Eastern Kentucky. Gamecocks shooting just 3 of 16 from the field. have not hit a three-pointer yet. Well, except for the one from Amari Martin. Must have overlooked that one. Gamecocks have turned it over far too many times for the first period. If you know Coach Petrie, you know how disciplined this team is. 5 turnovers in the first 8 minutes is not a good sign. And it's going to be a long, long, long week of practice for them. Once again, a nice crowd. The fans who were able to make it out on a rainy Saturday here in Jacksonville making a ton of noise this afternoon. By the way, cannot stress how great it is having hardcore out here. The pep band making as much noise as possible. I think that's played a part in Jack State's 8-3 record at home this season. Official going to explain it to Rick Petrie, and he does not seem to agree with the call. So it'll just be free throws here for Nakia Thompson after she was thrown to the floor. That foul on Hacker, the first. Jack State has not scored in 2 minutes. Looking to end that drought right here. Thompson, one of the most sure free throw shooters on the team, the senior out of Douglas High School in Atlanta. Puts it in the air and finds the net. Played in her 100th game as a Gamecock last Thursday in Lynchburg, Virginia. Has been an extremely important part of this team over the years. She hits both of them, makes it a 2-point game at 11-9. Recanati will bring it up the floor for the Colonels. Head coach Greg Todd yells in the play call. Recanati on the right side. The Italian guarded by Thompson. Bounces one down low to Walker. Checks back in. Gavin on her. Drives against her. Jumper short. And picked up by Kennedy Gavin. Over to Nakia Thompson with 1:35 to go. Nakia gets it past the timeline. Has it on the right wing. Thompson, top of the key to McCoy. Inside to Gavin, nearly lost it. Gets it back. Kennedy spins. Passes out to McDaniel. McDaniel with 15 on the clock will drive inside, almost to travel. Spins again, puts up a shot. It's short and caught by Antoinette Walker. Tough break for Brooklyn McDaniel that time. Did a great job just to avoid a travel, but the shot was not the best. Emma Hacker, 3. It's in there, and Eastern Kentucky's up by 5. (14-9) your score. Under a minute to go here in the first period. Thompson to Madison McCoy. Now to the left side of McDaniel. Brooklyn gives to Maddie quickly. Maddie had a beautiful jumper at the baseline in Thursday's win. Jumps in the paint. Shot off the backboard is good. Another bank shot for the junior, and it's 14-11. Eastern Kentucky has the ball, about a 9-second difference between the shot and game clocks. Antoinette Walker on the right side. Gives top of the key now to the left. Recanati passes back outside. Putting up a prayer with 8 on the shot clock. It's missed. Rebounded by Thompson. We'll credit that one to the band. Shot clock's off. Thompson gives in the corner. Mutanda had a shot, didn't take it. Mango gives in the corner now to Nakia, down low to Madison McCoy, puts up a shot, it's short, rebounded by Eastern Kentucky, and that does it for the first period of play. Not the best offensive start for Jack State, that's for sure. They trail at 14-11 through 1 here on the Gamecocks Sports Network. Stay with us. are back here at the Pete. Jacksonville State trailing Eastern Kentucky 14-11 through one period of play. Take a look at the men's game. They're in action in Kennesaw, Georgia, taking on the Owls, looking for some revenge after a heartbreaking loss on Thursday night. Fell at the very last second, a buzzer-beating layup for the Owls. But hey, Jack State leading 19-7. Have led by as many as 8 in the first half. They're about midway through that first half in Kennesaw, Georgia. As for women's basketball action in the conference, this is the only game going on right now. We mentioned Lipscomb beat North Florida by 5 in Nashville with a big fourth period today. Jacksonville shocked Austin Peay by 3. FGCU survived a scare, won by 10 at Stetson. Kennesaw State also surviving as they knocked off Bellarmine by 4. Central Arkansas, no problem with Queens. They won by 30. One night game tonight in Florence. North Alabama playing host to the red-hot Liberty Flames. There are not many teams in the nation hotter than Liberty right now. Liberty with a conference-high 8-game winning streak. We'll see if that one survives at North Alabama later on today. But in this one, it's a 3-point lead for Eastern Kentucky through 10 minutes. The Colonels will have it to start the second period as Marissa Mackins, the redshirt junior and a former Osprey herself, talking about North Florida's big win today. They pass it back to her, and it's stolen. Tipped away by Mutanda. Mango against Mackins. Layup is good. Count the basket and a foul. And just like that, Mango will head to the charity stripe looking to tie it up. First foul on Mackins. First team foul of the second period on the Colonels as well. One free throw coming up for Mango Mutanda. Mutanda, the transfer from Northwest Florida State, shooting 66% at the line this year. And she hits that one to tie it up at 14. Not as good of a first 20 seconds or so of the second period as you could ask for if you're Jacksonville State. See how the other 9:40 go. Antoinette Walker at the elbow, guarded by Bree Rhodes, who's in there to start the period. Now Nakia Thompson comes over to force a jump ball and give it right back to Jack State. Heady play by Thompson. That time Walker was guarded by Rhodes, and Nakia came over and just got tied up with her. That's the value that Thompson brings to your defense. The point guard will bring it down the floor once more here. Sets up shop on the left wing. Swings one to the right to Mutanda. Mango guarded by Recanati as she cuts to the left. Got a screen. Passes to Thompson, who had a step. The Mackins goes to cover. Gets a screen from Rhodes. Tries a three, and Nakia misses this one. Caught in the corner by Eastern Kentucky. That's Emma Hacker. Hacker passes ahead to Recanati. Now to the left side, this is Rainey. Beat McDaniel, and the lay-in is good. And I think McDaniel will be pulled off the floor after that. Petrie visibly displeased with that one. Kyra Williams gets set to check in. 16-14, Bellarmine on top. Bellarmine, Eastern Kentucky on top. 8:30 to go here in this first half. Brooklyn McDaniel, the Heflin native, goes to the right side, and Nakia thought of a three. Tries a runner instead. That one just doesn't go. Rattles around and falls off the rim. Rebounded by the Colonels. They go quickly down the floor to Mackins. Her layup blocked, but they call a late foul on McDaniel. Brooklyn goes for the block that time and got her hand instead. And with that, McDaniel will come off the floor. The aforementioned Williams checks in instead. That sends Mackins to the line. Mackins with that costly turnover to let Jack State tie it up to start the second period. She makes the front end of those two free throws. Mackins shooting 78% at the line this year. Overall, Eastern Kentucky, a very talented team at the charity stripe, one of the best in the league. Too much on that one for Mackins, but an offensive board for Eastern Kentucky, out of bounds off JSU. That time fighting hard to get it back was Ariel Kirkwood. I think Thompson might have tipped it out. Recanati throws the top of the key to Kirkwood. She'll go to her right and hand it off to the point guard. Recanati comes to the left. She'll guide traffic with her right hand as she dribbles with her left. Passes to the right side to Kirkwood. Going up against McCoy. In the corner, Eastern Kentucky with it. 5 on the shot clock. Outside of Recanati. Puts it up, and that's off the rim. Rebounded by Bree Rhodes. Over to Thompson. Now ahead to Mutanda. Mango will apply the brakes. Right at the arc. Passes to Thompson. Tries a three. That one rims out. Rebounded again by Eastern Kentucky, and a foul reaching in on Kyra Williams. Second foul on Kyra. Second team foul of the period as well. Been really impressed with the play of Danielle Rainey. You can tell that JSU's come in with a plan to slow down Antoinette Walker, the star guard for Eastern Kentucky. That means someone else is going to have to step up. So far, that's Rainey with her 9 points and 4 rebounds. Recanati to the right side. Shaw covering her step for step, almost stole it. Baseline, she'll pass it to Kirkwood, now on the wing to Rainey. Rainey with Shaquise May in front of her. At the elbow, goes to the free throw line, passes outside, and a travel against Recanati. Recanati charged with that one on the wing. JSU will take back over, down by 3. Kayra Freeman comes back in. She replaces Mackins. Here's Shantae Shaw, giving Nakia Thompson a breather. Shaw definitely looks different in that 30 jersey. Inside to Bree Rhodes, and she is fouled. Brianna Rhodes, who's about a 50% shooter if memory serves correctly, she'll head to the free throw line, trying to end a 2-minute scoring drought.
Rhodes on the line for the Gamecocks, shooting 2.
Rhodes, the Montgomery native, this season, 3 of 10 at the line, so not quite 50%. Product of Carver High School down in Montgomery. And Rhodes misses that one to the right. Rhodes missed all of non-conference play with an injury. It's good to see the second-year Gamecock back out there. She's been a very solid piece, especially depth-wise in that forward roll, post roll for JSU. She misses both of them. It's rebounded by the Colonels. Marissa Mackins has got it. Sizable guard brings it up the court. Mango Mutanda stands in front of her, directing traffic as she passes it over to Walker at the elbow. Shot over Rhodes, won't go. Caught midair by Shantae Shaw. Shaw down the left side, cuts across the floor, kicks it in the corner to Mutanda, and she lost it out of bounds. And Petrie livid on the other side. Kennedy Gavin comes in for Brianna Rhodes, and Shaw will check out as Nakia Thompson comes back in. So a quick timeout there for Thompson. 6:45 to go in the half. JSU trails 17-14 against Eastern Kentucky in this women's basketball matchup. Recanati coming near side, passes over to Walker, a handoff to Rainey, and a charge. Surely that's a charge. And yes, it is. Rainey came barreling in, drove right inside to the gut of Nakia Thompson. Let me tell you, you're going to be hard-pressed to find a defender who draws more charges than number 3, Nakia Thompson. Her charges per start is probably off the charts. I don't have that number with me, but I'm sure it's up there. Nakia past half court. Goes to the right side here at Bill Jones Court. Over to Gavin. Now a handoff to May. A 3 for Shaquise, and she tried to bank that one in. Didn't go. Rebounded by Gavin, and Kennedy is tripped up in the paint. That foul will go against Recanati. The 41st meeting all time between JSU and EKU. Jack State leads in the series 21-19, looking for another win at the Pete against their former OVC foe. Shaquise May gets past straight away, goes down low to Gavin. Kennedy puts up a shot, and they call a charge first. She had Mutanda wide open on the wing. And I understand going for the higher percentage shot, but that one's got to hurt. Once again, want to thank everybody for joining us on this Saturday afternoon in Jacksonville. JSU and EKU going at it for the only time in this regular season. Recanati fakes one to the right, gives to Walker on the elbow, jumper over McCoy, and that's not good. Off the rim, rebounded by Thompson. Nakaya down the center of the floor, gives outside to Mutanda. Mango backs it up. Almost a travel as she throws it in the corner and then almost stolen. I don't know how Griffin kept it. Kiera with an amazing play on the wing to Thompson. She's been pressured by Walker all over there. Nakaya Thompson shot off the rim, rebounded by the much taller Antoinette Walker. Down the floor quickly go the Colonels. This is Rainey. Gives it back to Recanati. Recanati on the left side, back to Danielle Rainey. Goes for Walker and a foul. Too much fighting for positioning between McCoy and Walker.
Just a foul number 15, Madison McCoy, her first. Team 4.
5:15 to go in the first half. A 3-point game here at the Pete. That foul against Madison McCoy, a foul on the floor. So EKU will toss it in. Goes into Walker. Marquette transfers, trapped, nearly a travel, goes down low, and the layup is good. Somehow Ariel Kirkwood got open. Banks in the layup, and it's 19-14. Halfway through this second quarter, their lead still 5. McCoy down low, her shot, no, she's fouled. And she'll head to the line when we come back from this media timeout. Jack State trails at 19-14, 4:55 to go in the second here on the Gamecock Sports Network. Stay with us on this Saturday afternoon. We welcome you back to the Gamecock Sports Network here on YouTube this Saturday afternoon. Remember, if you want to catch the men's game, they're taking on Kennesaw State on the road today. Tune in to WLJS Radio 91.9 FM. The Gamecocks are currently trailing 28-27 at Kennesaw. They're in that under 4 media timeout, still in the first half, but shooting the lights out, 55% from the field are the Gamecock men. Wish we could say the same about the women. JSU shooting just 5 of 25 so far, 20% from the field, and a 1 of 13 start from deep. That's not going to win you many basketball games. We'll see if that can hopefully improve moving forward. Madison McCoy was fouled putting up a shot before that media timeout. And the Knoxville, Tennessee native will head to the line Now, she is a 50% shooter this year. She misses the first one, so hopefully that means she'll make this next one. 19-14 your score. Just a hair under 5 minutes to go until halftime. And indeed, the 50% trend continues for number 15. Madison McCoy hits the second one, and it's a 4-point difference. Recanati gives to Walker straight away, goes to the right side. She'll hand it off to Kirkwood. Driving against Griffin. The forward puts up a shot, and it's nothing but net. Beautiful attempt from Danielle Rainey. Ariel Kirkwood looking like Danielle Rainey with the start that Rainey had. It's a 6-point game. Griffin to the left side. She'll give it to May. Shaquise passes tip, nearly stolen. Good defense there. Knocked by number 22, Calissa Lacey. On the right wing, here's Mango. Flares one to the left side to Griffin. 3-ball for Key, and that's off the rim. Rebounded by Shaquise, though. May outside to Mutanda. 3-ball, and Mango can't connect. Eventually, these have got to fall, though. Rebounded by Lacey. Eastern Kentucky's got it. Lacey gives in the corner to Kirkwood. Trying to drive down low. Opposite corner to Recanati. Now a left wing 3 for Mackins, and that teardrop will fall. It's a 9-point difference, 24-15. Eastern Kentucky opening up a decent lead here in the first half. See if the Gamecocks can battle back. Griffin passes toward the baseline. This is Mutanda. Now back to Kiera, the Ramsey High School product. To Nakia Thompson. Drives into the elbow, and let's see, that's a charge on Nakia. Drawn up by Kirkwood, and it's going the other way now. That is turnover number 8 against that JSU offense. First foul on Nakia. Team foul number 5 for JSU. Both teams in the bonus now. Colonels will give it into Mackins, and Mackins will walk it up the floor. Eastern Kentucky in no hurry. They've had time to sit back, analyze, and find the best shot on pretty much every possession. This time Mackins will drive, throw it out to Lacey on the wing. Lacey straight away, nearly a travel. Drives in the paint, down the right side, layup, didn't have enough on it. Out of bounds off Eastern Kentucky. Might have been off JSU, but Antoinette Walker tried to save it. In doing so, that's an easy call for the official to see who it was out of when you're jumping out trying to save it. And step out of bounds. So Kiera Griffin will throw it in. I mentioned that Griffin played her high school ball at Ramsey High School. She came here to JSU for regionals. We'll have regionals at the Pete. Looking forward to seeing some top high school talent from across the Yellowhammer State, the north side of the Yellowhammer State next week. Madison McCoy gets another shooting foul. That one going against number 20, Emma Hacker. Second foul on her, and a couple more free throws for Madison McCoy. McCoy 11 of 22 at the line this year. Greg Todd got to be pleased with what he's seeing from his Colonels on the far sideline. Again, only in his second year, legendary head coach in the state of Kentucky. Longtime head coach at Morehead State, which JSU is very familiar with that program. He left to come back to his alma mater at EKU. Took some lumps last year, but looking pretty solid right now as Madison McCoy hits both of them. It's a 7-point game, 24-17, 3 minutes to go in the first half. Rainey trying to find an open teammate, throws it into a leaping Marissa Mackins. Hauls it in, gives it back to Rainey, and now to Walker, who will bring it up the court. Takes it all the way down the center, jumper at the charity line, and that one's off the rim. Rebounded by Mutanda. Mango takes it on the other end. She has it on the right wing. The Minneapolis native has it stripped, picks it back up. Trapp tries a layup and didn't get the friendly roll. Tipped and finally caught by Mackins. And it's right back to EKU. Gives it over to Lacey, working against Thompson. Mackins back outside Lacey, long ball. She got it. For the first time today, it's a double-digit lead for Eastern Kentucky. It's 27-17. Getting close to the 2-minute mark here in the second period. JSU giving up the first basket of the day to Lacey. Kyra Williams checked in a moment ago. She has it on the wing. Gives it off to Griffin. Now back to Kyra. Williams, the former Jacksonville Golden Eagle, will try a layup. This one does rattle home. And finally, JSU hits a field goal. Their first made field goal in 7.5 minutes. It's 27-19. And a travel against EKU. Maybe they keep this momentum going as Amari Martin comes back in. Amari has Jack State's only three-pointer so far. The team is 1 of 15 from long range. Need to improve that. Nakia Thompson up the floor. Left side of Kyra, back to Thompson now. Nakia gets around her defender, layup, no, but she's fouled. We'll see who that foul's on. It's going to send her to the line. That's on Ariel Kirkwood. Ariel Kirkwood with another foul, her second. And she will take a seat, as will Kayra Williams, Kayra Freeman. 2 free throws here for Nakia Thompson. That one up and in. She hit her first 2. Coming into this game, Thompson on the season shooting 75%. Dribbles 3 times, spins it in the air, puts it up, and it's good. They've cut the deficit to 6 now with 1:33 to go. Nakia will jog off. Shantae Shaw comes in. We'll see if the speed of Shaw, some fresh legs, can help out here. That time she was matched up with Recanati, and Recanati went for the long ball in the inbounds pass. Shaw covered it well. They had to go in low. Walker takes it all the way, layup, good. Antoinette Walker, you can bottle her up for some time, but it's not going to last the whole game, and she hit the basket to make it 29-21. 4 points so far in this game for the Marquette transfer. Shantae Shaw's layup didn't have enough on it. Over to Recanati. Ahead to Rainey. Now to Lacey. She lost her footing. Ball on the floor. Amari Martin forces a jump ball, but it will stay with EKU. With 57.7 to go, the Colonels keep possession. Rainey, a high pass in. Recanati takes it to the right side. Shantae Shaw covering. 35-second difference between the shot and game clocks as Recanati misses a layup, but she's pushed to the floor. Another foul.
Gamecock foul number 30, Shantae Shaw, that's her first.
Had a lot of free throws in this first half. And about to have 2 more for Elise Recanati. Alice Recanati. First free throw from the redshirt sophomore out of Italy is good. And they're the first team to reach 30. 30-21. Second free throw for Recanati is good. And we're right back to a 10-point game. Kiera Griffin bounces the inbounds pass into Nakia Thompson. Nakia over to McCoy, left side, this is Williams. And Kyra, no, a foul away from the play, and Kiera Griffin comes away holding her head. What happened here? It'll be free throws coming up. I poked Kiera in her eye. And that will go against number 20 for Eastern Kentucky. That's Emma Hacker. And that'll be it for the first half for Hacker as she's getting into a bit of foul trouble. She's pleading her case to the official on the far side, but to no avail. Didn't really see much on that replay. Either way, getting 2 free throws from Kiera Griffin. The junior forward on the season shooting 52% at the line. Looks like Mackins is back in. And the free throw from Griffin is good. 31-22, Kiera with a productive first half. 5 points. Seven rebounds, hit 6 in the first period. Hits both of them 31-23. 8-point difference with 32 seconds to go in the half. By the way, the men lead at halftime at Kennesaw State 36-30. Hoping they can close it out. Recanati holds on to it. About a 5-second difference between the shot and game clocks. Recanati to the left side. Gets a screen from Walker. Thought of a pick and roll. Instead, she'll take it herself. Spins in the paint. Puts a shot over Thompson. It's missed. Rebounded by McCoy. Over to Martin. 4 on the clock. Amari takes it down the left side. Puts up a floater at the buzzer, and it has too much on it. That does it for the first 20 minutes. Jack State trails 31-23 here on the Gamecock Sports Network. A poor shooting first half. Outshot 38% to 19%. And from 3, outshot 43% to 7%. If you do that, you're fortunate to head into the locker rooms only down by 8. We'll take a timeout and come back with some halftime stats and analysis. We'll also take a look at those games across the conference today and the men's game in Kennesaw. We'll tell you how they're doing. All that and more in just a minute here on the Gamecock Sports Network. But here at the half, JSU trails by 8. And we're back here on the Gamecock Sports Network. Halftime at the Pete. Jacksonville State's women's basketball team trailing 31-23 against Eastern Kentucky. The visiting Colonels have come in and shot well so far. 11 of 29 from the field, 3 of 7 from long range. And JSU not even close to that. Only 6 made field goals in that first half. Shot 19% from the field, 1 of 15 from three-point land. Just 7%. Not a good start at all shooting for Jack State. And it comes after a couple of strong performances by the offense. The entire team, it felt like, shot well against Queens and overall did pretty good against Bellarmine shooting the ball. But once again, slipping back into their early season struggles of finding the net. We'll see if they can improve that in the second half. It's going to have to happen if they come back and win this very important game. We talked about how important this matchup would be for ASUN tournament seeding purposes. Right now, JSU, Eastern Kentucky, and Kennesaw State all tied for 5th place in the league. If you lose this game, not only are you not going to be tied with them, if you end up getting tied with them, they're going to have the tiebreaker. And you can say the same thing about Kennesaw State, who swept us earlier in the year. You'd like to have a tiebreaker over somebody you may end up tied with toward the end of the season, because this is a JSU team that's still got some very tough matchups to play this season. You're playing Stetson, who's shown that they can be a strong squad. You've got Florida Gulf Coast. You've still got to play North Florida and Jacksonville, who can beat anybody on any given day, it seems. There's really no gimme games the rest of the way. Jack State knew this wouldn't be a gimme game. Still trailing by 8 here at the half. Eastern Kentucky with 14 in the first period, 17 in the second. Jack State had 11 in the first, had 12 in the second period. Leading scorer in this game for Jack State with just 5 points is Madison McCoy. McCoy knocked home one of the 6 field goals that Jack State's had so far, has also hit 3 free throws so far. 4 points and 4 rebounds for Kennedy Gavin, 4 points and 2 rebounds for Nakia Thompson, 3 points and 3 rebounds for Mango Mutanda. Amari Martin hit a 3-pointer in the first half. She's got 3 boards as well. Kyra Williams with 2 points. Kiera Griffin with 2 points. She's got 7 rebounds in the first half. And Brooklyn McDaniel with a couple of boards. Shantae Shaw just 6 minutes played in the first 2 quarters. We'll see if the 5th-year guard out of Nashville, the Troy transfer, who's I think second on the team in points scored this year, something like that. We'll see if she gets more playing time in the second half. As for Eastern Kentucky, Danielle Rainey took over that first period, 9 points and 4 rebounds. 6 points for Marissa Mackins, mostly in that second quarter. She had 3 rebounds and 2 assists as well. 5 points for Emma Hacker, 3 rebounds, but she's got 3 personal fouls, something to track in the third and fourth periods, see how much playing time she gets due to that foul trouble. Ariel Kirkwood, 4 points. She had an assist in the first half. Lacey with 3 points and a rebound. Walker and Recanati 2 points each in the first 20 minutes. Looking over some other team stats. Jack State being outscored JSU outscoring EKU 9-5 in points off turnovers. Jack State actually out-rebounding Eastern Kentucky 25-20, which is interesting because it feels like Eastern Kentucky is on the board so far, but maybe that's just me. JSU with 4 times as many offensive rebounds as EKU in the first 20. Jack State with 4 second chance points, none for Eastern Kentucky, but that tells me that they've hit most of their shots. They haven't had too many opportunities for second chance points, it seems. JSU's bench outscoring Eastern Kentucky 12-8, but the Colonels with more points in the paint, 14-10, same amount of fast break points, 3-3. Gamecock offense with 8 turnovers in the first half, 7 for Eastern Kentucky. Aside from shooting, it's been pretty evenly matched. We'll see if JSU can find the net in the second half and make this one a ball game once again. We'll do this. We'll take another timeout and come back with some scores from across the conference. Check in on the men's game. They're at halftime as well right now. All that in just a second here on the Gamecock Sports Network. we're back here at Pete Mathews Coliseum in Jacksonville, Alabama. Jack State trailing 31-23 at halftime of this women's basketball matchup. While we have this moment to check through some scores, we'll take a look at those matchups that have already been played in the ASUN Conference today. Again, it was a narrow victory for Florida Gulf Coast, at least in their standards. They held off Stetson with a big fourth period. They win 67-57 in DeLand, Florida, a place that JSU will be on the final day of the regular season on March 1st, making the trip down to play Stetson on a one-off game to wrap up 2022-23. Bellarmine at Kennesaw State. That was a close one. Kennesaw State with a equally big fourth period. They win 77-73, hold off the Knights, who go 0-2 this weekend in the Southeast. Central Arkansas, a thumping victory over Queens. They knocked off the Royals 73-43. Central Arkansas, a team that you got to keep your eye on this season. JSU found out, almost lost a game against them. Kennesaw State did lose to them. UCA is going to be a good squad in the ASUN in a couple of years. Austin Peay came in, I think, tied for second place in the league as we started action today. They are not tied for second place any longer. They lost to Jacksonville at home 55-52. This conference is crazy, and it was almost a crazier day because Lipscomb was trailing until very late against North Florida. They outscored them by 14 points in the fourth period, and the Bisons come away with a 78-73 win over the Ospreys. Hardcore playing away at the Pete. One final game in the ASUN tonight. That's Liberty at North Alabama. That game will start any minute now up in Florence. And at halftime, the Jack State men trail at Kennesaw State 36-30. Let's say that the other way. They lead at halftime 36-30. They trailed at times in the first half, but rebounded late. Had as much as a 9-0 scoring run, led by as many as 8 points in the first half. And they headed into the locker rooms up by 6. Like us, they are just about set to start that second half in Kennesaw, Georgia. We'll do this. We'll take another timeout. We'll come back in about 2 minutes with the start of the second half here on the Gamecocks Sports Network. It's Eastern Kentucky 31, Jacksonville State 23. Crosses in to Shante Shaw. Left side pass to Kyra Williams. JSU shot poorly in the first half, just 6 made shots. We'll see if they can improve that quickly here in the third period. Shaw will drive in the paint, kicks it back outside to Kyra Williams. Kyra attacks, her pass is tipped. The fifth-year guard gets it back but throws it right to the Colonels. Wide open layup for Walker is good. Not how we drew it up, and it's 33-23. Back to a 10-point lead for Eastern Kentucky. They had a 10-point advantage a couple of times in the first half. Williams left side three-pointer in there. Finally, Jack State connects on one from deep, just their second this game, and it's 33-26. Recanati with it. Redshirt sophomore passes to the left side to Rainey. Screen set by Walker, passes it back to her down low. She's guarded by Gavin. Kennedy, hand in her face on the fadeaway jumper, and it just didn't matter. Walker bottled up for much of that first half, but starting to get into a bit of a rhythm. She's got 6 points now. In the corner, it's Griffin back on the wing to Kyra Williams. Drives, passes down low to Gavin. Kennedy around 3 defenders. Shot partially blocked, caught down low by Mutanda. And Mutanda stepped on the out-of-bounds line. Another turnover. And once again, it goes back to Eastern Kentucky. EKU leading by 9 now, 35-26. 8.5 to go here in the third period. Recanati just past the timeline. Shantae Shaw in front of her. To the right side to Rainey. Danielle Rainey around Kyra, but first a charge. That's how she got that separation. Gamecock defense has been able to force some offensive fouls against EKU. You get the feeling that if JSU, if they didn't even shoot good in the first half, if they shot average in that first half, this would be a 10-point game the other way, but simply not. 3 ball for Griffin. Hey, it's good. What you wanted to see coming out of the locker room was an ability to score, and hitting 3-pointers is exactly what that means. And on the other end, it's a travel against Eastern Kentucky. Ball goes right back to Jack State. They trail now 35-29, and the ball going back to JSU. Shantae Shaw gets it up the floor. Has it on the left wing. A high pass to the right side of Mutanda. In the corner to Williams, coming back to the near side. Williams dribbles around the pressure. Passes on the left wing to Shantae Shaw. Back to Williams on the right. Kyra flares one to Shaw. 3-pointer, good! 3 straight threes for Jack State. It's 35-32. And a pass sails out of bounds for Eastern Kentucky. Jacksonville State gets the ball right back just like that. A 6-0 run for JSU. They've hit 3 threes in the first 2.5 minutes of the third period. If they hit one here, we tie it up. Shaw on the right side, gives in the corner to Mutanda. Fake to 3, she'll drive. Now she'll retreat in the corner, top of the key to Griffin. Kiera over to Shaw. Shaw, 10 on the shot clock. Left side pass to Williams, 3 for Kyra. Off the rim, rebounded out of bounds by nobody. Let's see who that's off of. They'll say off the Gamecocks. Mutanda scrapping for it, couldn't keep her footing and lost it out of bounds. With 7:10 to go in the third period. Eastern Kentucky back with the ball up by 3. This is Alice Recanati. Passes toward the elbow to Walker, long 2. That one won't go, rebounded by Williams. Kyra Williams plucked that one out of the air. She'll take it down the floor. Outside of Griffin, 3 for the tie. That's off the rim. Caught in the corner by Kennedy Gavin. Kennedy will dribble it out. Tries a mid-range jumper, too much on it. And a foul going for the rebound on Kyra. Kyra couldn't help it, made contact against Antoinette Walker. That'll be the first team foul. First personal foul on Williams as well. And now Shaquise May comes in. May will replace Williams. .6:43 and ticking in the third period as the inbounds pass caught by Recanati. Recanati on the right side. The point guard goes to Walker now out toward the baseline. This is Rainey. Left wing to Mackins and a push before she drives. That's against JSU. That's on Mutanda. Just enough contact that time to get the foul. Wasn't a ton, but they saw it. Recanati will toss it in. Caught in the corner by Rainey. Back to Recanati. Inside driving layup for Walker, and it's good. Don't want her to start to heat up. 37-32 EKU. 6:08 to go in the third period. Shaw at the free throw line. Gives on the wing to Mutanda. Tries to duck inside. She backs it up. In the corner, wide open is Shantae. A three, too much on it. Fighting for the rebound. Shaw gets it, gives over to May, and May will dribble it out. Jaquise gives to Griffin, out to the right side, back to Shantae. Great offensive board by May. Kennedy Gavin at the free throw line. A jumper, too much on it again. Started shooting well here in the second half, but 0 for our last 4. Jumper for Eastern Kentucky. Walker buries it, and just like that, it's right back to a 7-point game. 5:25 to go in the third period. Kennedy Gavin toward the free throw line. She'll spin and a charge. Fell to the deck that time, going against Ariel Kirkwood. Pretty easy call that time, as Gavin's shoulder pretty much went right into the midsection of Kirkwood once she fell. And Gavin will take a seat. Kennedy with her second turnover on that offensive foul. She's got 3 personal. So does Kyra. Recanati down the center of the floor. Right side pass, it goes to Walker. This is Mackin's top of the key. Left side back to Recanati. Down toward the baseline, Antoinette Walker going up against McCoy. She'll spin again, layup. Rolls around the rim. Rebounded by Griffin. Kiera gives one in the corner to Mutanda. Back to Key. Back to Mutanda quickly. Mango fakes a 3, drives, passes over to McCoy. Maddie, inside, high percentage shot. That one won't go, off the glass. Rebounded by Walker. In the corner, passes to Recanati on the wing. Wide open 3 for Hacker. She buries it, and it's a 10-point game. As quickly as Jack State started this third period, Eastern Kentucky has rebounded, and they lead it by 10 once again. 42-32, timeout on the floor by Jack State. We'll take it with them as it stretched to a media timeout. 4:25 to go, JSU 32, EKU 42 here on the Gamecock Sports Network. We welcome you back to the annual Pink Game for Jacksonville State, in support of all those fighting breast cancer. Of course, February is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Gamecocks trailing right now by 10, 42-32 against Eastern Kentucky, who have made the trip down this weekend. They lost a tough one. They've lost 3 in a row. Lost at Kennesaw State on Thursday, 70-63, but currently winning a dogfight. As a foul will go up against the Colonel defense inside. Let's see the number. And that's against Walker. Reaching in against Antoinette Walker. Second foul on her. Second team foul as well. With that, that'll take us to another media timeout here on the Gamecock Sports Network. Before we break away once more, I want to take a look at the men's game. Gamecocks have held Kennesaw State scoreless for 2 minutes early in the second half. JSU has stretched their lead out to 11. They're on top 46-35 at Kennesaw State at the Convocation Center, hoping that they can keep it up. JSU is in need of a big win on the men's side. In need of a big win in this one as well. Jack State trying to move it to 3 wins in a row if they get this one. But down by 10, need a big comeback. Be back in just a minute. And we welcome you back to the Pete. Jack State down by 10. 4 minutes and change to go in the third period. Madison McCoy passes it outside to Shantae Shaw. Kiara Griffin at the free throw line. She'll spin. Has it in the paint. Back to Shaw. Shaw drives. Layup with the right hand. Not enough on it. And the rebound goes to the Colonels. Danielle Ramey scoots down the floor. Has it right at the arc. Lobs one left side to Calissa Lacey. Lacey guarded by Amari Martin. Left side. This is over to Freeman. Kara Freeman with it. Shantae Shaw on her. 8 on the shot clock as Lacey tries an underhand layup. Ball on the floor as it was rebounded initially by Shaw. She'll pick it up. Take it all the way. Blocked from behind. And Eastern Kentucky will come away with it. That time rejected by number 20, Emma Hacker. Freeman takes it, gets around Shaw, layup, no good. Rebound off of Eastern Kentucky and out of bounds. Whoa! They changed it to EKU ball, and this one might be turned over quickly, and it is overturned. Okay, as long as we got it right. Madison McCoy tried to get the rebound, and she threw it out of bounds, but she threw it out of bounds off of the Colonel. So that's why Jack State will get it. A few subs coming in for Eastern Kentucky, including Mackins. I think Recanati back out there as well. Griffin passes it in to Nakia Thompson. Thompson gets it past the Gamecock logo. At the point, it's McCoy, left side over to Griffin. Griffin gets around the defender, layup, banked home. 42-34. Can't come back all at once, just got to find a rhythm on offense. Hacker's layup is short, rebounded by Kiera Griffin. She's pressured, gives it off to Thompson. Nakia around multiple defenders, the layup is missed. She was wide open. Oh no. And Eastern Kentucky will come away with it. Over to Hacker, a three off the rim. Nakia Thompson gets the rebound that time. In the corner to May, a long ball. Yes! Shaquise May makes it a 5-point game. Knocks one down in the corner, and it's 42-37. Eastern Kentucky with it. Antoinette Walker, guarded by Madison McCoy. Drives inside, layup good. Not bad defense by McCoy, just the perfect shot by Walker. The lead's back to 7. Looking for another response are the Gamecocks. Thompson straight away. She'll juke to the left, give it off to a cutting Shaquise May. Step back, long two for Queese. That one in and out. Rebounded by EKU, though. Not a bad shot that time by Queese. You heard the team cheering on the young sophomore. Antoinette Walker straight away, three in there. And it's right back to 10. Defense just was not prepared, nobody on her. And it's 47-37. Minute 23 and ticking here in the third. Griffin drives the right side, layup, too much on it. Caught by Walker, gives it off to Recanati. Left side to Hacker, she'll drive. Stops, tries a jumper, that one airballed. Nakia Thompson gets it. Nakia, coast to coast, no, kicks it in the corner to May. She'll drive, Shaquise's layup. Too much on this one. It seems like at times we just cannot buy a shot. Deficit still 10, make that 12. Emma Hacker got an outlet pass from Mackins, her layup wide open, 49-37. 40 seconds and ticking here in the period. Nakia with it on the right side. Senior out of Atlanta. Jumps to the top of the key, passes over to a open Griffin. Now to Amari Martin. Amari goes down low for McCoy, around two defenders. She lays it up and in. Good shot from McCoy. 10-point game, 49-39. Gonna need some magic in the fourth period if Jack State's gonna win in the pink game. Marissa Mackins going up against May. Tries a three, she got it. That one hurts. 2 seconds to play, throws it into Thompson, and the clock runs out. It's a 13-point lead through three, 52-39. Jack State trails it. EKU has come out. They've proven that so far they've been the better team today, but who will be the better team in the fourth period? Maybe JSU. Hopefully the Gamecocks are 13 points or more better in the fourth period. We'll see. Take a timeout and come back with more in just a second here on the Gamecock Sports Network. We are back here at the Pete, fourth period underway. Jack State down by 13. It's 52-39. Eastern Kentucky has it to start the fourth period. They go down low to Danielle Rainey. Now on the wing, a pass to Lacey and a foul away from the play on Kennedy Gavin. I think Gavin a little handsy down in the paint, trying to go up against Antoinette Walker. Might have grabbed her arm. They'll throw it in underneath the basket. It's caught over the shoulder by Walker as she's falling back down to the floor. Walker at the edge of the paint, tries a jumper, in and out. Rebounded by Kirkwood. What a job jumping in and getting that board. Throws it to Rainey, who cuts inside. Her shot short. Rebound on the floor. That'll be a jump ball possession to Jack State. JSU down by 13, one of the lowest scoring outputs of the season for the Gamecocks. We're by no means, an offensive powerhouse. We are a defensive team. I think anybody in the ASUN will tell you that. 39 through 3 is few even for us. Griffin has it at the point, drives to the right, stops, spins twice, puts up a shot, and a foul. Count the basket, too. Great job to finish through the contact that time. It's 52-41. With how early that foul was called, I was thinking they wouldn't count the basket, but I guess she got it off in time. And this free throw can make it a 10-point game. Griffin, the 6-foot forward, puts a shot up, and it's in there. We're tied, or I guess back to what it was for much of that third period, 52-42, a 10-point ball game. Wish we were tied up. It's kind of how this game's felt. It's felt like JSU has not gotten it much closer than 5 points for much of this game. Just feels like Eastern Kentucky being up 5 is kind of like being tied with how many shots they've been able to hit versus us. Thankfully, they miss one here. It's rebounded by the Gamecock defense in the corner. A three for Martin off the rim. Gets her own rebound. Outside to Griffin. She'll fake a shot. Pass to Amoria. Deep three. And it's off the iron as well. Caught near the arc by Thompson. Another one for Amori. Passes back to Nakaya outside. Nakaya hands it off to Martin. Coming back to the left. Williams now to Griffin. Rainey covering. Williams straight away. Kyra will drive. Take it herself. Layup. Rolls in there. Got the right spin on the shot. Kyra Williams makes it an 8-point game, 52-44. 7 points now for the fifth-year guard out of Jacksonville. Recanati down low to Kirkwood. Layup good. It's been the story of this game, unfortunately. Whenever JSU gets some momentum, Eastern Kentucky's right there for a response. Griffin to McCoy. Fakes a handoff. Goes to the right. She will give it this time to Martin. Back to Griffin on the wing. Amari's got it. Left side, Kyra. Williams gets around the first two defenders. Layup, good. Kyra Williams getting into it. It's 54-46 now. But can we get a stop? 7:27 to go. Still plenty of time if your defense can come to play. Walker against McCoy. She'll try a fadeaway. Just absolutely buries it. She has been money on that fadeaway mid-range jumper. It's a 10-point game once again. McCoy toward the free throw line. Outside to Williams for three. That one airballed. Just lost it. Rebounded by Thompson. Back to Kyra. Let's see if she can make up for it. On the left wing to Thompson. Nakaya. She'll drive. Give it in the corner. Three-pointer for Griffin. Off the rim. Lost by EKU, but picked back up by Walker. Recanati on the other end gives to Antoinette Walker. To the baseline, a jumper for Kirkwood in and out. Tipped and almost rebounded by Rainey, and they're going to say off of Kiera Griffin. And Petrie cannot believe it. Kennedy Gavin will come in for Kiara Griffin now. Raven Wright also yelling across the floor. Cannot believe that one went off of Jack State. Recanati to the left side, going up against Thompson, trying to put her on skates, but Thompson's there. Not off balance, tries to shot high off the glass, doesn't go, putback won't go either. Finally though, this putback will go for Walker. And the lead is 12 once again, 58-46. Nakia Thompson's got it. Throws to the left side to McCoy. And a foul driving in as Kennedy Gavin was trying to take it to the basket. Fourth foul on Emma Hacker. She's getting into some heavy foul trouble, but with the 12-point lead, are they going to take her out? Yes, they will. They'll bring in Ariel Kirkwood. Nakia Thompson to toss it in. No look pass to Gavin. Layup for Kennedy is good, and she's fouled. Kennedy pushed to the floor at the end of the shot, and that's a push against number 11, Kirkwood. Now she's in foul trouble with 3. Kennedy Gavin has been on fire in conference play for Jack State, but a quiet day today, just 6 points. Makes a free throw though, and it's 7 for Kent. The only game that Kennedy Gavin has not scored in double digits in for Jack State in conference play, she had 9 points. She's got 7 so far, looking to make it a double figures once again. This is Mackins driving in the paint, layup no good, but a block against Amari Martin. With 5:47 to go, another trip to the free throw line. In order. Kirkwood checks back in to replace Hacker. Couple of free throws for Mackins. Mackins, redshirt junior from Durham, North Carolina. First free throw is true. Mackins on the season, shooting 78% at the line this year. 2 of 3 so far. Misses the second once again, rebounded by Gavin. Kennedy, pressured, gives it to Martin, now to Nakia Thompson. It's a 10-point game, 59-49. Nakia outside to Amari, back to Nakia on the right side. Thompson drives, gives it in the corner to Kyra Williams. Bit of a high pass. Kyra gets it though. Can't try a shot though. To the right wing in the corner to Madison McCoy. Maddie tries a layup, and once again McCoy hits it. One of the most productive games of the season for Maddie McCoy. She's got 9. And a foul as Recanati is tripped up and sent to Bill Jones Court here at the Pete. Yep, Antoinette Walker got it done in the second half. Had 2 points in the first half. Between the third and fourth period so far, she's got 17. 19 total. A force to be reckoned with in the ASUN Conference. You got to think that if Eastern Kentucky can make a push, maybe get a home tournament game, she might have her name in the running for Player of the Year. Even though it's kind of just assumed that's going to be Morehouse. Shot off the rim, rebounded by Jack State. That was missed by Mackins, rebounded by Thompson. Gives to Gavin, layup blocked, and a foul on Walker. Antoinette Walker with her third. And when we come back from this media timeout, 2 free throws coming up for Kennedy Gavin. 4:53 to go. Jack State trails 59-51 here on the Gamecock Sports Network. Couple of free throws for Kennedy Gavin as we come back from the media timeout. Trying to cut it to a 6-point game. If she can hit both of these, it's 59-51. The Southern Miss transfer with her first free throw, and it is off to the right. Gamecocks down by 8. 4:53 to go in this ball game. Gavin gets up to 8 points as she hits her second free throw. 59-52. As a team, JSU now 12 of 16 at the line. Antoinette Walker's got it for Eastern Kentucky. Spins right into Nakia Thompson, and a jump ball is called. That'll keep it with Eastern Kentucky. It's unfortunate that the jump ball was called that quickly because Thompson immediately after had ripped it out of her hands and was heading toward the basket with a full head of steam and a clear court in front of her. Jumper off the inbounds pass, off the back of the rim by Walker, rebounded by Gavin. Looking for a score right here. Here's Amari Martin. Thought of a three, thought better of it. Bounces one in the corner to Thompson, back to Amari. Amari drives in, and she is fouled, hit hard to the floor. Another trip to the line, and that is team foul number 5 on EKU. Gamecocks will be in the bonus for the final 4:23. Let's see if they can take advantage of it. First trip to the line for Amari Martin today. Fifth-year guard of Hazel Green, shooting 70% this year. Not anymore. That one in and out. Stays a 7-point game. And she misses both. Tipped out of bounds by Jack State. Free throws were pretty good until the last minute. Not so good right now. Remember, Jack State will be back in action next week on the road, taking on North Florida on Thursday night, Jacksonville on Saturday afternoon. Looking forward to a couple of fun games down in the Sunshine State, maybe a little bit warmer down there. Eastern Kentucky with it in the corner. It's Recanati, a three, good. Rattled around and went down. Their lead back up to 10. No, they call that a long two. 61-52. Kiera Griffin at the edge of the paint. She'll spin, put a shot off the glass, and it rolls in. Good response for Key, 61-54. Recanati past the timeline, looks to her left, guarded by Thompson. Need a stop here with 3.5 to go. Down low to Walker. Griffin is there, back outside Recanati. This one is a three, and this one is off the rim. Mutanda catches the rebound. Over to Thompson. Looking for the right shot here. Down by 7. In the corner, it's Nakia. Over to Kyra on the left side. Williams at the free throw line. She'll spin. Give in the corner to Mutanda. A three from Mango. Off the inside of the rim. Out of bounds off EKU, however. And Jack State will get the ball. It'll be Mutanda to pass it in directly underneath the basket. Lobs it in toward half court to Thompson. Nakia tries a three straight away off to the left. Rebounded by Gavin. Kennedy tries to throw it off a Colonel, and EKU will get it. Recanati at the K of that Gamecocks logo at midcourt. 2:35 to go. Still time, but you need another stop. Outside to Rainey in the corner. On the wing. This is Kirkwood. Passes tipped by Griffin, picked up by Mutanda. Mango trying to take it herself. Layup no good. Caught by Kyra Williams, and she travels. Well, doesn't travel, but falls out of bounds. Perhaps the one thing you didn't need to happen after that steal. Rutonda checks out. Brooklyn McDaniel comes in with 2:19 to go. Marissa Mackins bringing it up the court. McDaniel there with her. Step back three for Mackins. Off to the left. Grabbed by Thompson. Need to score here. 2 minutes to go. Nakaya, underhand toss to Griffin on the wing. Kiera gives to Thompson. Gets a screen. Nakaya down the center of the court. Layup. Good. And fought through contact that time. It's a two-possession game, 61-56. Minute 40 to go. Recanati dribbling to her right. Thompson covering, man-to-man defense. Let's see if they can get another stop. Need one. Walker against Griffin. Kiera is there. Layup no good. Rebounded by Key. Over to Nakaya Thompson. Bounces a pass ahead to Kiera. Layup no good and a charge. That was an easy one. 1:17 to go. It was a good idea for Thompson to lead that pass to Kiera Griffin, but in doing so kind of increased her momentum. She couldn't slow down, barreled right into Emma Hacker. Hacker pumped up as she fell to the floor, knowing that that was a charge. They're going to bleed this clock. About a 47-second difference between the shot and game clocks. Recanati in the paint. Passes outside to Hacker. A three off the rim. Rebound lost out of bounds by Eastern Kentucky, and Jack State will get it. 49.5 to play, but first a timeout by Petrie. We'll step aside, take it with them. 61-56, EKU on top. 49.5 seconds left to go here at the Pete. Kyra Williams passes it in to Kiera Griffin. Now to Nakaya Thompson. 45 seconds to go. Jack State down by 5. Nakaya to the elbow. Gives it off to Kyra Williams. Jumper for Kyra. No good off the rim. Rebounded by the Colonels. 5 seconds between the shot and game clocks. I mean, you got a foul here. Have none to give. Still no foul called. Antoinette Walker with it in the corner. Now they foul with 23 seconds to go.
Gamecock foul number 1, Kyra Williams, her fourth, team's fifth.
Fourth foul on Kyra. 2 free throws for Walker.
Antoinette Walker on the line, shooting 2.
Walker has had a huge second half. Her first free throw is good. With that, Walker has got a game-high 20. 18 of those 20 coming in the second half. Second free throw is in there as well. And that pretty much ices this one, 63-56, 23.9 to go. We'll take another timeout with the Gamecocks. 7-point lead for EKU here late. Kyra Williams will throw it in with just under 24 seconds to go. On the near side, gives it in to Griffin. A handoff right back to Kyra. Drives, passes over to Gavin. Layup good. And an immediate timeout. And that's the last timeout for Jack State. Comes with 19.9 to go. Kennedy Gavin gets the easy layup. She's got double digits with 10 points. The leading scorer is Kiara Griffin. She has 12 and 11, a double-double for KG. It's a 5-point game, 63-58. Let's see if the fouls and free throws can help us out down the stretch. We'll take another quick timeout, come back to wrap up the final 19.9 in just a second. With that timeout, the ball advances past midcourt. It'll be Marissa Mackins to toss it in. Throws it in to Antoinette Walker, and she has it ripped at. That's a foul, though. Matondo was trying to tangle up with her and force a jump ball, but to no avail. That foul goes against Kiara Griffin. Third foul on Griffin.
Antoinette Walker on the line, shooting 2.
2 more free throws for Walker, the Lisle, Illinois native. Her first free throw is up and good. As automatic as they come, it's a full 2-possession lead now, 64-58. Second free throw from the redshirt senior. That one's off the rim. And a lane violation against EKU. Jack State will have an automatic possession. And beg your pardon, we had one more timeout left. We take it right now. 18 and a half to go. Hey, it's a 2-possession game. Let's see how this one plays out after this timeout. Six-point deficit for Jacksonville State, 18.2 ticks of the clock left. 64-58. Kyra Williams to throw it in. It's Amari Martin who grabs it. Amari gets around the defender, tries a layup, it's missed. Airballed, rebounded by EKU. They pass it down the floor to Mackins. Petrie says hold off of it, and that'll do it for this one. Eastern Kentucky comes on the road. They knock off Jack State in the pink game, 64-58. A tough and disappointing defeat for Jacksonville State. They fall to 13 and 11, 6 and 7 in ASUN play. Eastern Kentucky improves to 14 and 12, 7 and 6. This one hurts, and that one hurts your chances at a 5 seed in the ASUN tournament as well. Oh well, got to put it in the rear view. Got a couple of important road trips next week, taking on North Florida on Thursday night, Jacksonville a week from today on Saturday afternoon. We'll preview those matchups, talk about other games in the conference, and check in on the men's game in just a minute. But Jack State's women fall 64-58. Stay with us. We'll have a head coach Rick Petrie interview as well. Don't go anywhere. And we're back here on the Gamecock Sports Network. Thanks for staying with us here on this Saturday afternoon. Your final score, Jacksonville State's women fall 64-58. Just did not shoot the ball well until it was a bit too late. Outscored the Colonels by 7 in that fourth period, but you go in trailing by 13, and that's just not enough. Definitely a bit of a disheartening loss, I should say. But you got to put it in the rear view and quickly, because you've got two quality teams you're facing next week in North Florida and JU. Gamecocks go 1-1 this weekend at home at the Pete. Win on Thursday night, defeating Bellarmine 59-54, then losing this one 64-58. Looking at final stats for the game, Jack State's leading scorer with 12 points. It's Kiera Griffin. She had a double-double, her first of the year, and the sixth double-double of her career. 12 points, 11 rebounds for the junior out of Birmingham. Kennedy Gavin scores in double digits again. She has 10 points and 8 rebounds. A 9.2 rebound, 2 assist outing for Kyra Williams. 9 points as well for Madison McCoy. She had a solid outing in this game. 6 points for Nakia Thompson. Had 8 rebounds and hit all 4 of her free throws. Not a bad day's work for Nakia. 3 points for Shantae Shaw, just 13 minutes played. 3 points for Shaquise May. 3 points for Amari Martin, and 3 points for Mango Mutanda. Mutanda had 5 rebounds as well. All wraps together for a 64-58 loss for Jack State. Leading scorer in the game was Antoinette Walker. Jack State could not stop her in the second half. Had 20 of her 22 points in the third and fourth periods. 13 rebounds as well. A big double-double for the redshirt senior and the transfer from Marquette. 10 points from Emma Hacker and 10 points from Marissa Mackins as well for EKU. 9 points from Danielle Rainey. If I'm not mistaken, 7 of the 9 were in the first period for Rainey. She cooled off in a big way after the first 10 minutes. 6 points for Ariel Kirkwood and 3 points for Calissa Lacey in this game. Jack State out-rebounded EKU 49-40, but could not shoot the ball. Outshot 39% to 30%, and even worse from deep, 40% to 18%. Gamecocks had twice as many points off turnovers, had 9 more rebounds, had more bench points, had more points in the paint, had as many fast break points. The Gamecock offense had just 1 more turnover, but they could not shoot it well today, and that led to a downfall, a 64-58 loss. Checking in on the men, does not appear that the Gamecocks will be getting a win on the road today, led by as many as 11 in the second half. But they trail with 26 seconds left, 73-68. It's been a tough week for Jack State's men against Kennesaw State. 2 games that they probably should have won, 2 games that it looks like they're going to lose against the rival Owls. Hate to see that. And then other games in women's basketball action in the A-Sun. The only ongoing game now that we've finished up, Liberty at North Al, and that's a pretty close one. North Alabama trailing 31-25 at halftime, that game in Florence, Alabama. Again, the finals from earlier today, Stetson made it interesting but lost to Florida Gulf Coast 67-57. Kennesaw State survives the scare against Bellarmine 77-73. Lipscomb does the same at home against North Florida. They knocked off the Ospreys with a big fourth period, 78-73. Central Arkansas all over Queens, 73-43. And then the big upset, Jacksonville shocked Austin Peay 55-52. So we'll do this. We'll take another timeout. We'll give head coach Rick Petrie a chance to talk over some thoughts with the team before he comes out and shares his thoughts with us here on the Gamecock Sports Network. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. Your final score, though, Jack State falls 64-58. We're back. We're still with you here on the Gamecock Sports Network. Appreciate everybody joining us on this Saturday afternoon. Wish we had better news to report. Jack State's women fall 64-58 in this matchup against Eastern Kentucky. A huge win for the Colonels on the road. Jack State falls for just the fourth time this season at home against an Eastern Kentucky team that had not beaten JSU in the last 8 meetings, but erased that 8-game losing streak with a big 6-point win here at the Pete this afternoon. Jack State, again, they fall to 13-11, 6-7 in conference play. With that loss, Eastern Kentucky improves to 14-12 overall. They are 7-6 in ASUN conference play. Of course, Kennesaw State with a win today. Eastern Kentucky with a win today. Jacksonville State now in 7th place in the conference standings, which means that they're on the wrong side of the canyon. To hear it from Coach Petrie, you want to be in the top 6 seeds. You certainly would love to be in the top 5 seeds, but if nothing else, there's a big jump between 6 and 7. And sure, that's something that we'll talk about with Coach Petrie here in just a moment as he makes his way across the floor. Jacksonville State, a tough 6-point defeat in this one. We'll go over some stats and everything with Coach Petrie here in just a moment. Did want to mention, though, double-double for Kiera Griffin. Love to see that. 12 points, 11 rebounds in today's matchup. Just the 6th double-double of her career, the first of the season for the junior forward out of Birmingham. You look at this game, something that we alluded to around the end of the matchup. Jack State led in virtually every category except for shooting. You know, they were outshot 39% to 29%, but had more points off turnovers, had more points in the paint, had around the same number of turnovers, had more second chance points, had more bench points, had the exact same number of fast break points. What it came down to today was simply shooting, and it's something that can kill you. When you shoot 29%, it can definitely make up for having a lead or being tied in every other statistical category. Jack State went 20 of 67 from the field in this game. Shot much better in the second half, however. They shot 47% from the field in that fourth period. They shot 57% from deep in the third period. And, you know, try to make things interesting. Cut it to as close as a 5-point game there in that fourth period, but simply could not get it done. They fall by 6 against the Colonels on the road. Looking ahead to next weekend's 2 matchups. Jack State making the trip down to the Sunshine State for a Thursday and Saturday showdown. Thursday at North Florida, the newly renovated UNF Arena. Looking forward to seeing what that one looks like. And then Saturday at Jacksonville. Of course, 2 quality teams. Jacksonville with a big upset earlier today as they shocked Austin Peay by 3. North Florida, we'll see what they can do on Thursday, a team you can never overlook. The Thursday game will tip off at 6 p.m. Central Time against the Ospreys, and then Jacksonville will start at noon Central Time Saturday, a week from today, down in Jacksonville, Florida. Just 2 home games left in the regular season. JSU back at it 2 weeks from this weekend. Thursday the 23rd, playing host to Stetson. That game will start at 6 p.m. here at the Pete. And then Senior Day on February 25th, Jack State and Florida Gulf Coast. A huge matchup for Senior Day. 4 p.m. tip. Hope to see you for that one before we wrap up the regular season. March 1st at Stetson, back down in the Sunshine State. Couple more flights down to Florida in the cards for us here in the 2022-23 regular season. So without a doubt, obviously player of the game in this one going to Kiera Griffin for getting her first double-double of the season with those 12 points and 11 rebounds. Got to tip your cap, though, to Antoinette Walker for Eastern Kentucky. After that first half, I think everybody in the stadium that saw the scouting report was saying, how does she only have 2 points? But when you finish with 22 after having only 2 at halftime, I'd say you're a pretty good player. 22 points, 13 rebounds, shot 9 of 22 from the field. Could do it all. Saw her hit 1 from deep. Got a lot of points from down low. Really, really impressed by what we saw from Walker today. And, you know, she's a redshirt senior. I'm assuming she'll have another year left. If so, that's going to be a big, big keep for Eastern Kentucky looking ahead to next year. You know, not an addition to the team, but a big win just keeping her on the roster next season. But also good performances from Emma Hacker and Marissa Mackin scoring in double digits as well. Eastern Kentucky did not shoot as well in the second half. Now, in the third period, they shot 56% from the field. The Gamecock defense got it done in that fourth period, only allowed 4 made shots, but just could not score enough when you go in trailing by 13. So that's how it went. JSU falls 64-58 in this one. We'll step aside and come back in just a moment with an interview with head coach Rick Petrie here on the Gamecock Sports Network. Jack State falls 64-58.